I want you to know that this video is not a judgmental video. I was myself a meat eater not a long time ago, and actually I used to kind of criticize vegetarian people a little bit because I was thinking that they missed some nutrients and that it was a trend. Hi friends, this is Anne from The Bible Diet. In one of my previous videos, we talked about the difference between clean and unclean animals that are mentioned in the Bible, why this law of clean and unclean animals still apply to us today, and why these unclean animals are so unhealthy for us and we should not eat them. Basically, we should not eat them at all. If you didn't see the video, I will put the link to the video in the description below. But today, I want to talk to you about the clean animals. Are they still safe to eat for us today? I think it's an important subject that can be a little bit delicate, but I think we need to talk about it. Alright, let's get started. Today, because of pollution, and because of certain conditions animals are living in, even some animals classified as clean can be harmful to our health. Most of the animals commercialized in our food supply today are mistreated and medicamented. The pollution of the earth and waters is increasing. Therefore, many animals carry diseases today. A phenomenon that is increasing over time. A diseased animal that we eat can bring diseases upon us. I want to read to you a text that was written many years ago by Ellen G. White. The curse of God is upon the earth because man has cursed it. The habits and practices of men has brought the earth into such a condition that some other food than animal food must be substituted for the human family. Animals are becoming more and more diseased, and it will not be long until animal food will be discarded by many besides Seventh-day Adventists. Often animals are taken to markets and sold for food when they are so diseased that their owners fear to keep them longer, and some processes of fattening them for market produce disease. Shut away from the light and pure air, breathing the atmosphere of filthy stables, perhaps fattening or decaying foods, the entire body soon becomes contaminated with foul matter. Animals are often transported long distances and subjected to great suffering while reaching a market. Taken from the green pastures and traveling for weary miles over the hot, dusty roads, or crowded into 50 cars. Feverish and exhausted, often for many hours, deprived of food and water, the poor creatures are driven to their death, that human beings may feast on their carcasses. You know, blood is life, and among the things that produces good blood in our body is the good food we eat. Bad blood brings diseases. All the elements of nutrition necessary to make good blood are contained in a vegetarian diet. You know, God loves us and He gave us free will, so we are not forced to love Him, otherwise it would not be real love, and we are free to make our own choices. But it is important to acknowledge that it's not necessary to take God's creature's life to supply our feeding needs, and that in certain times in history God permitted to eat meat because of some circumstances. For example, just after the flood there was a lack of vegetation, so Noah and his family were permitted to eat flesh meat. And later God allowed the Hebrews to eat meat because of their rebellion. There are interesting scientific facts to consider regarding animal products, and here are a few of them. In a diet, animal products are the only source of cholesterol and the main source of saturated fat. Animal products contain no fibers, and fibers is known to improve health. Eating meat can also promote bone loss, as it forces calcium out of the body. This calcium extraction, along with oxalates and uric extraction caused by a diet too rich in protein, and especially in animal protein, can cause tract stones. Also, we all know that eating meat promotes cancer in all forms. Meat eaters are 3 times more likely to be obese than vegetarians and 9 times more likely than vegans. On average, vegans are 10 to 20 pounds lighter than adult meat eaters. According to the US Department of Agriculture, 70% of food poisoning is caused by contaminated animal flesh. In the US alone, 76 million illnesses are caused by diseases such as E. coli or Salmonella each year and often lead to hospitalization and even death. There is also the growing problem of antibiotic resistance. Antibiotics are also used on animals to promote their growth and to keep alive those who live in terrible conditions. The consumption of meat treated with antibiotics makes people more resistant to antibiotics when they are at risk and really need it. I want you to know that this video is not a judgmental video. I was myself a meat eater not a long time ago, and actually I used to kind of criticize vegetarian people a little bit because I was feeling that they missed some nutrients and that it was a trend. And I have very close family and friends and they eat meat. They know that I'm not judging them, but that I try to help. And I pray every day that God show us what is right to do. Also, the Bible reminds us several times that we should not judge each other and that God is the only judge. And years ago, Ellen G. White said something on the subject of meat eating and not judging one another. In this country, Australia, there is an organized vegetarian society, but these numbers are comparatively few. Among the people in general, meat is largely used by all classes. It is the cheapest article of food. And even where poverty abounds, meat is usually found upon the table. Therefore, there is the need of handling wisely the question of meat eating. In regard of this matter, there should be no rash movements. We should consider the situation of the people, the power of lifelong habits and practices, and should be careful not to urge our ideas upon others, as if this question were a test and those who eat largely of meat were greatest sinners. We do not mark out any precise line to be followed in diet, but we do say that in countries where there are fruits, grains and nuts in abundance, flesh food is not the right food for God's people. And we are not to make the use of flesh food a test of fellowship. Also, many people came to me telling me that they try to stop eating meat and that they want to become vegetarian and they struggle because they have lifelong habits of eating meat and it's very difficult. I would say to them to pray and ask God for guidance and for help, because with God everything is possible. I never thought I would become a vegetarian. I used to love eating meat. I used to love eating unclean food. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I used to eat pork and seafood. I used to love chicken and beef and things like that, and I used to think that I would never become a vegetarian. But as I learned about the quality of the meat and the way animals were treated, I prayed that God help me, and He did. He really did. Little by little, I ate less and less meat. And one morning, I woke up and that was it. I said, that's it, I don't want to eat meat anymore. I didn't feel the desire to eat meat anymore one morning. So we need to pray, and also we need to have willpower. We need to want to make a change, and it's good to inform ourselves on the conditions animals are treated, the diseases they have, and also what recipes we can make, what alternative recipes we can make that are super delicious. It doesn't have to be salads all the time. Vegetarian diet can be so delicious, and actually for me it tastes even better than when I used to eat meat. So it's possible. And lastly, meat is not the only food that is bad for us. There are other kind of food that is bad for us. I might make a video about it later, but I will also make a video about why the food we eat that is unhealthy for us, why God cares, because it has an impact on our brain, not only on our physical appearance and our body health, but our brain health and our spiritual health, and that's why we should take it in consideration, because yes, it impacts our spiritual health as well. Alright, that's it for today. I think I talked enough. So I talk to you next week, and I wish you a very blessed day. All right, bye bye.